the previous numerical, the last part I'll do over here because we are starting. Let me start with Kirchhoff's. I'll just do the last part of the previous numerical, right? I think you have done in grade 10. Done this in grade 10. R is equal to rho L by A. This is the original resistance of the wire. Now what happens? The wire is increased. You're stretching the wire so that the length increases 3 times. The length increases 3 times. You always think that the thickness will reduce by 3 times. Switch it on. It's on. When the length increases 3 times, the thickness will decrease by 3 times. So just write, boys, this is original resistance. I think I'm sharing the slide. Boys, am I sharing the slide? Original resistance. So now the new length, L dash, this is the previous numerical what we were doing. It becomes 3 times L. New thickness or area of cross section. If length increases 3 times, your thickness will reduce by 3 times. So then I can write new resistance R dash will be equal to rho L dash by A dash. So it is rho 3 times L by A upon 3. Or I can write 9 times rho L by A. Look at this physical quantity. So R dash becomes equal to 9 times R. The original resistance. Copy down, boys. Still a lot of numericals to be done. Let us see. If I put an extra class, no, I'm not. I'll just record and keep below. Others can manage to see only the numerical part. I'll record. It will be recorded, right, boys? But others, those who are not fasting, you people can attend, right? Because it looks as if I'm the only person speaking. I'm doing the numericals because numericals has to be done, boys. So the rest of the boys, let it be recorded. You can view it later. Holidays.
Ma'am, when is the class?
Yes, yes. No, I'll schedule and keep holidays, not.
Okay, ma'am.
No, the problem is Saturdays, many of. No, I'll keep the recorded class. Okay, then what I'll do is that I'll record that class. In that, if you have any doubts, again, I'll come back. I'll take another class for you. No, I'll take class for you. Same thing I'll take for you. That's not a problem. Saturday, because why? What happened is many were objecting on weekdays. Friday, Saturday, they don't want to come. They are having some extra. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough for you. That's the reason I'm telling you. So I'll record the class. If you people find it difficult, the same thing I'll once again go. It's up to you, boys. You decide and let me know. It's your convenience, not mine. It's your convenience when you want. I feel holidays are better, not every day, only one day, one of the day, whichever time is suitable.
Which day you want?
No, you select, boys, because I'm not. Any day, any time, you select because many are fasting. So let it go. Let us give their option. Let it be their option.
Sure.
Whenever they are comfortable, let them give the time. So just I'll do the previous year. Some numericals have to be done. It's up to you, boys. You decide. Shall I go for the next one? Okay, now start, boys. Kirchhoff's law, very important. Most of them are finding this part every year difficult. So just write, boys. There are two types of law. One is called current law, the other one is called voltage law. That is, when resistors are connected in such a way, if things become difficult for you to calculate the total resistance or the current flowing through the circuit, in that case, if it is the circuit is complicated, then we have to use these two laws, current law and voltage law. Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now, what is Kirchhoff's current law? Or we call it as a junction rule. Right? When there is a junction, consider four wires over here,
Ma'am,
which are carrying current. Yes.
can you show the previous? No, ma'am, it's fine.
Now listen, boys. Suppose you have a junction where you can see four different wires are connected at point O. In certain wires, the current is flowing through the junction, right? Your junction is marked as point O. In certain cases, your current, especially I2 and I4, are flowing towards the junction. I3 and I1 are flowing away from the junction. So then they generally say that the total current entering the junction must be equal to the total current leaving the junction, right, boys? This is the current law. This is called the current law, or generally we call this as junction rule. You can write the current entering any junction is equal to the total current leaving that junction is current law. Or generally we call it as junction rule, the current law. The total current entering any junction is equal to the total current leaving the junction. You can write the statement and write the formula and draw the diagram. You'll understand it better. The total current entering any junction is equal to the total current leaving the junction, and this law is based on conservation of charge. Might be one mark question or recession reasoning based question. You can expect this based on conservation of charges. The total current, I think so here it is not mentioned. The total current entering the junction must be equal to the total current leaving the junction. Draw the diagram, boys. Mark the direction of the current. Mark the junction as O.
Do you have to write the sigma also? Sigma IK?
Not necessary, boys, because it naturally comes to be zero if you can. So the total current entering any junction is equal to the total current leaving that. So it is based on conservation of charges.
So if it's leaving, it's taken as negative.
Yeah, it should be taken as, if one is taken as positive. Yes, diagram is important.
Ma'am,
Yes,
is there anything in the center?
point O. That's it.
It's just a
Because
point,
all the
right?
wires are being joined. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Tomorrow it is your chemistry teacher told she'll conduct the practicals first 2 periods. Yes. Shall I go for the numericals for the other students? Let me go for the practicals. It will take hardly 1 period for them. Then shall I go for numericals for them? Shall I go for the next one, boys? Or you need time to complete? Jahan, I'll go for the next one. Kirchhoff's second law is based on the law of conservation of energy because voltage. Yes, voltage. Voltage law. Now, look at the circuit, then you'll understand it better. 1 second, boys. Now, suppose if I have two resistors, R1 and R2, right? Now, both the resistors are connected in series to a power supply. Is that clear? Then the law states that the input voltage V should be equal to the sum of the voltages V1 plus V2. Boys, can you see the circuit? You have two resistors R1 and R2 connected in series and connected to a power supply of V volts. Anyway, it's given as V in. So the total voltage V in must be equal to V1 plus V2. Is that clear, boys? Just write these 2 points you write, draw the diagram and write this statement, but still sign conventions we need to apply. I'll explain the sign conventions for you. That clear?
What does circuit loop mean?
What happened?
Ma'am, is circuit loop, does it mean series?
No, loop means a continuous path, right? The total voltage across a circuit loop is equal to the sum of the voltage drops across the devices. Devices means here resistors, right? In that, I'll just explain one of the circuit, then you'll understand it better. Sign conventions we need to follow. So whatever I have marked, only those statements, the circuit diagram and whatever I have marked, and the circuit diagram. So V input is, sorry, input voltage is equal to V1 plus V2. Huh? No, you have number of cells in between. That's it's not only 2 cells, it's a battery. It might be a number of cells.
Ma'am, voltage drop means the voltage of the device.
The potential, so the potential difference across voltage drop means potential difference. As voltage drop means potential difference. Yeah, you can draw noble symbols.
Ma'am, should we change devices to resistors?
Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
that might be better for you at least. Shall I go for the next one? The only thing is that now you have sign conventions. You have to be a little bit careful before we start solving the numerical. Have you all completed it, boys? Shall I go for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Before I'll start the numerical, let me draw a loop and then we'll apply this law. Well, suppose I have a resistor connected to a power supply. Say this is R1, this is R2, say this is 6 volt, and this is 9 volt. Suppose the current. Say the current is flowing. Let me go for same current, then you understand that. Draw this, let us find just an example. Draw this, boys. A rough diagram. Rough diagram. Yes, rough diagram is enough, boys. Okay. Now there are two cells, right? Or two batteries. There are two batteries. Now let me take the voltage, battery voltage. Now only thing what we need to do is now check how 9 volt battery is sending the current. How is 9 volt battery sending the current through the loop? How is 9 volt battery sending the current through the loop? Is it not anti-clockwise, boys? 9 volt battery, how is your current going to flow, boys? Suppose if I have a cell like this, right? If it is going to send a current to a circuit, the current will always start to flow from positive terminal to the negative terminal, correct? Okay. Now, how is your 9 volt battery sending the current through the circuit? It is sending the current in the anti-clockwise direction. Are you clear with that? Boys, 9 volt battery, say, okay, it flows like this. So it is sending the current in the anti-clockwise direction. Fine. Okay, now how is your 6 volt battery sending the current? How is your 6 volt battery sending the current? It is sending the current in the clockwise direction. Is it not sending the current in the clockwise direction? 9 volt battery is sending the current in the anti-clockwise. 6 volt is sending the current in the clockwise. So this EMF of the cell or the voltage of the cell 9 is taken to be positive. When the cell or the battery is sending the current in the anti-clockwise direction, then its voltage is positive. 6 volt battery is sending the current in this circuit. In which direction? Clockwise. It should be -6. Are you clear, boys? Those who are at home, are you clear with this concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that clear? So I'm only talking about the cell. Next, we'll see the potential difference across the resistor. Are you clear? The left hand side is not, but the total battery voltage. Okay, fine. Now let me go for the next one. The voltage across resistor R1. What is the voltage across resistor R1? I1 R1. Okay, now how is I1 flowing in the circuit? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise, then this voltage will be negative. Is that clear? Okay, now what next? Voltage across the resistor. What is that? What is the voltage across? It will be I1 R2. Now, how is I1 flowing in the circuit? Clockwise. So that will be negative. Is that clear, boys? This is the total battery voltage. Now what is this? This is minus I1 R1 is the voltage across R1. Which one? 3. That will be 3. Yes. Yes. 3 voltage. Shall I go for one more diagram and teach you, boys?
Ma'am,
Shall I go for
Can you
I1,
explain this
R1?
again?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the I1,
because
R2.
okay, fine. I1, this is the voltage across. What is this? This is voltage across R1, correct? Voltage across R1. And what is this? This is the voltage across R2. Voltage across R2.
Ma'am,
So
how
that
did you
must
get
be
the negative sign?
because how is I1 flowing in the circuit? I1 is the current flowing through R1. How is it flowing in the circuit? It's flowing in the clockwise direction. That's not I1 flowing
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
clockwise direction. Then it is negative. How is the current I1 flowing through resistor R2? It is flowing in the clockwise direction. Shall I go for one more small mesh and then we'll go for it? Loop.
Yes, ma'am.
Here
Shall I
you
erase
just
this?
take I2.
Okay, now you do by yourself.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
It's time up.
No.
I'm just giving two different currents. Let me see. I1, R1, I2, R2, 10 volt, 6 volt. You just write now. Now I'll go for the battery voltage. How is 10 volt sending the current through the circuit? Positive to negative. Is it clockwise or one second? One second.
How do you
is
find the
10 volt?
direction of the current?
So it will be given. You don't worry. It will be given in the circuit.
Okay, ma'am.
Let us see how
Clockwise, 10
later.
volt,
No, just
clockwise.
10 volt is clockwise. What?
Yep.
I'll just highlight 10 volt. Is it clockwise?
Ma'am, 10 volt is clockwise.
No, positive to negative. 10 volt is sending the current like this. No, I just wrote I1. Otherwise, you'll be, it's just a random circuit I've given you. See how the current will flow from positive to negative. See how the current will flow. Current will flow from the positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal. So in this circuit, 10 volt battery is sending the current in the anti-clockwise direction. So then is 10 volt positive or negative? Positive. So now I'll erase this. Now check how is 6 volt sending the current. 6 volt is sending the current in the clockwise direction. It has to send down, right? This one has to send the, should I write mark
So
A, B,
it's
C and
minus 6 volt.
so, yeah, so that will be minus 6. Okay, now tell me the voltage across R2. I'll make this R1. What is the voltage across R1? I1, R1. Now, how is I1 flowing through the circuit? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? How I1 is flowing? So minus I1 R1. Now, how is R2? 1 second. I'll make I2 the other way. Okay. What is the voltage across R2? What is the voltage across R2? I2, R2. Now, how is I2 flowing in the circuit? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? How I2 is flowing? Anti-clockwise, so it will be positive. Is that clear, boys? Okay. Fine, boys, you can leave. Thank you.
Ma'am, you choose the direction of I2.
Yes, all the directions will be given in the circuit. You need not worry, boys. It will be given in the circuit.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys. And leave.